time in a week. Hello, everybody, weirdos and weirdettes. It's me, Haunted. Today, we are going to be working on the brand new model, Mystique, an alternative model for Carlos Vasquez. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I went ahead and built, primed, and sprayed the base coat of the flesh in because time savings, because now I don't have to worry about cleaning my airbrush now. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we'll work on the flesh a little bit. Let me grab my glasses. Where are they? Ah, there they are. Okay. So I probably could use a little bit of filler right there. But otherwise, the model will fit in really nicely. This little bit's tricky when you come to it. The way it slots in is not intuitive, but if you've built models before, you know to test fit and pre-fit and all that good stuff. So you'll get it. Hey, McBluff, how are you doing? Welcome in. Okay, so we're going to start with I'm going to do a little bit of purple wash, which seems kind of weird, but I think it'll make sense later. We'll see. I'm going to use that as in our shade, in our recesses in our shade. Motto assistant or hobby assistant motto is dry fit yourself. Yeah, really, for sure. Yeah. Not work appropriate. Super excited to head to GenCon tomorrow. Oh, wow, you lucky dog. Well, welcome to GenCon 2022 here. I'm one of those unfortunate souls not going to GenCon. But the good thing is I have somebody there that is going to be getting stuff for me. So I won't be missing out on stuff anyways, because stuff is important. Especially with all the new stuff that's coming out. So what I've done is I mix this purple tone. This is Army Painter purple tone. I mixed it with a little bit of contrast medium, about 2 parts to 1, I guess. 2 parts contrast medium to 1. I'm just going to kind of work that around in the recesses and edges and stuff like that. And I didn't really get the chance to talk to you about it, Weird Hobby, but if you'd like, we could do a giveaway on this model at some point. Because I'm going to have a couple more coming to me, obviously from GenCon. So we can do a giveaway on it of some sort. Either just follow and type in ticket or whatever, or some other form. Yeah, we hadn't had one in a while, and I haven't participated in one yet, so I think this would be a good time. So yeah, let me know what would be best for it. You did a personal giveaway yesterday? Oh, okay. All right. Well, I was not watching yesterday, so unfortunately, I didn't see that. But now I can participate. Yay. SPS Discord? I am not familiar with that one. Oh, Steam Power Scoundrels. Okay, gotcha. That's cool. Like I said, I have not done a weird giveaway yet, so I figured it was about time, you know? We've been doing this. I've been doing this now. What, just over a year? We've done it. I mean, other than, the break that we had. So, yeah, it's time for me to do a giveaway. And after Doug's episode, raving about Damien Ravencroft, I listened to the Breachside broadcast in episode 28, and it was really good. I think that's the first one I've really, really enjoyed. I've only listened to a couple, which is, I guess, why I hadn't listened to more, because none of them really caught me. But the Damien Ravencroft story got me. I liked it. Yeah, it's been about a year. Today marks a year, actually. Oh, wow. How about that? Streamiversary. And I'm doing the stream. Yay. Hey, Tiger, how are you doing? Long time no see, my friend. I'm thinking this purple wash is a real good color for this flesh tone here. That one is exciting, but it's going to make me collect another faction. Or start collecting more of a faction. I don't have any Parker. I do have a bunch of Gil, but I do not have Bass or not Parker. Yeah. No. Oh God. Parker Barrs. Yeah. Whatever. The dude from 10 Thunder / Explorers. My God, I've lost my mind. I have one, well, two if you count Mei Fang, because she's a Arcanist too. But I have one keyword in 10 Thunder, so this is gonna probably get my foot back in the door here. Between that and the Hoffman box coming up, McCabe, thank you. Jeez, Manini. I knew I was messing it up. I knew it. And I'm doing it on live TV. Bass McCabe, yeah. But yeah, we could do that too. Would we need to do that as an official one? An official giveaway / auction? Like pick a charity or whatever. Oh, okay. Well, we could do that too. All right, and get just a little bit darker concentration of that purple right there in the belly button. There we go. Now, I'm going to have to say, the one thing I was surprised about, it makes more sense now that I see where her face head is placed, but her face was not the prettiest when I saw it. I was like, oh my goodness, she's got all these weird wrinkles and strange folds and stuff, but it's just because she's like, she's got her head tilted back and she's got her mouth stretched wide for the fire, but it looked kind of strange when I first started pulling her off the sprue. Okay. Oh, that's where the division is in the abs right there. Yeah, here we go. Okay. That is true. That's very true. Well, I appreciate that. All right, so first step done is our base coat of flesh, which we did use tan shadow from Reaper. Um, we'll probably bring this back in with a touch of the. Oh, I'm missing the other one. Where's the other one at? There she is. Tan flesh or tan skin. And this is kind of the way I always do models. I almost always do models from the skin outward. It's easier to correct mistakes if they happen if you work that way. And it's not to say you can't do it the other way. I've done it plenty of times, but it is easier to change course if you work from the skin out. Also, a little update on that red grass palette. I have been using it some more, and like I said, I still don't really notice a performance gig out of it, but oh my god, the longevity of it is really, really good. I'm on the 8th washing of the first paper, and it still has this nice slick sheen to it. It does not look like it's going to punch through anytime soon, which is just fantastic. My ghetto paper, the parchment paper, would have given up the ghost by now. So I'm very, very impressed with this so far. The paper is amazing. So even if the palette itself isn't that great, just grab you some of the paper. So we get that little hip bone accentuated there a little bit. Say hip bone is actually, pelvis flare, but still. Pencil Klexker, how are you doing? Welcome in. Be AFK a little bit, then GenCon order as well, helping on processing. Nice. I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Welcome in. We are painting old Mystique, the alternate Carlos Vasquez model. This model was probably my favorite next to the new Hoffman box. I mean, I'm more interested in Damien Ravencroft from play standpoint, but model wise, this model and the new Hoffman are the new hotness in my book. So I was super duper excited about this. Makes me want to get my performers fixed up and learn how to play them, because good God, that's gonna be fun. Please don't make things explode while I'm playing. I'll try not to. It is, isn't it? Really, really nice. And Defective Dice, how are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome to GenCon 2022. There may be some of you that are at GenCon. I don't know, but this person is at GenCon. Doing really good. Like I said, hyped for this model. Always hyped for new models at GenCon. My poor wallet. It's just, it saw that notice and it was just like screaming in angry binary. Because I don't have cash, I just have cards. So screaming angry binary. Okay. So do we have anybody that is actually there for Gen Con? Maybe not at it yet because obviously not officially open, but do we have any there that are in the area ready for it that are just tuning in for their fix of weird before the show? Sadly, Team Gen can't hear as well. Ah, well, you're in a good place. Good company. Now, let me see. Let me pull up a reference photo real quick. I am trying to see that flower that they have on the side of her head. I am just not seeing it super well. Oh, because it's over on the other side. That's why. Okay, so it's on opposite sides here. All right. I'm just trying to decide: are we going to actually paint her eyes because they are incredibly small, and the flames right up against them. I don't know if it's even worth it, but we may, just because. So now we're, like I said, we're kind of working with that oh, oh. This is huh. There is a disparity between artwork and model. Artwork shows her top coming all the way up with like just a small keyhole here, but the model appears to be open all the way down to the cleavage. So we'll have to work with this a little bit here. Are you team GenCon if you're processing GenCon stuff? I don't know. I mean, that's yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to see your GenCon, honestly, even though you're doing GenCon stuff. Although that would be a pretty good debate. Probably given the importance of the stuff you're doing for the Gen Con stuff, I would put you on the Gen Con's team. Oh, you didn't notice that about the top either? Yeah. Kind of took me by surprise. You being the next FAQ. Yeah, there we go. Let's soften this up just a wee bit here. Okay. Have so many things I need to remember to pick up while I'm there for friends. Oh, I bet. Yeah, it's gonna be a full-time job for those pickers. I'm always part of the home team. It's for the best. I hiss at people bright light. I'm right there with you, Play Weird. I am right there with you. I'm part of Vampire. And a little bit of an antisocial butterfly. uh, so we're going to start working on the tan skin again, bringing it up now. This, before we're using tan skin mixed with a little bit of the previous tan shadow. Now we're just going tan skin. And we're just kind of working up these highlights a bit around her abdomen. And on the hip. Is it crest? Cradle? There's some little name for that flare of the pelvis bone. I can't think of what it is. Anyways, we're going to hit that a little. So we're going to be through with the majority of the skin here pretty soon. There's surprisingly not a lot of it on the model. Other than her little bitty thin arms and her abdomen. Okay, so just continue to work around, get these highlights, get these little fingers, or little finger do's. Just a little on that chin. Here, another cheekbone. A little bit on this brow ridge here. Going pull toward the elbow bit here. Bring that brightness to it. And a little bit up on her, listen, her bicep is. What is that shoulder muscle? Can't think of it. I'm just having all sorts of brain farts today with muscles and anatomy terminology. Yeah, that muscle. Okay. We'll get a little highlight in there, hand highlight, and we'll be finishing up the skin. Then we'll work on the reds or the flames. We can do either one. You notice I'm not spending a whole lot of time on the face because I will probably come back in and redo the face when I can actually like bring the model up to my eyeballs so I can see it proper. As is, I kind of paint by the force, so I can't always do the super fine details on camera. Hey, Seth, how are you doing? Welcome in. Seth is another Malifaux painter on Twitch. He's been working on the May Fang crew. Oof, yeah, I can understand that, my friend. I've been in 16 car accidents, so I know a thing or two about back pain. Yeah. I was born with a birth defect where I have a target painted on my butt, and other people like running into me. You know, running red lights and stop signs and stuff like that to plow into me. It's great. Fun stuff. Bad light doesn't cover. Yeah, really. That's why I say it's a birth defect. I am doing skin at the moment. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go with OSL flames or not. My style of painting is not really conducive to it without using the airbrush, and I don't use the airbrush in stream. Or at least not very often. Try not to, anyways. Yeah, that's one reason. The other reason is, my airbrush is very loud. The compressor goes nonstop because it's basically on its last legs. And then there's always that, constant got to clean the pot, and you can literally watch people just disappear as you're cleaning your airbrush. So it's like, I won't do airbrush. It's as little as possible on the stream. Yeah, I used to use it a lot, like a lot, and I got very very dependent on it. Like I kind of stopped being able to do blends because I was so used to doing everything with the airbrush blend wise. And I was like, oh man, this is bad. I gotta reteach myself that muscle memory. So once I kind of got things back in the swinging, I I stopped using it nonstop, and I would do like I do one project with airbrush, one project without, one project with, one without, just to kind of keep that memory, muscle memory alive. Okay, do a little bit of detail up here on this hand. Kind of neglected it earlier. Still in focus. But yeah. All right. So we're getting down to the very end skin tone here, just a little bit more. So we're not pushing it super duper hard, at least on the face. We'll come back to that in a bit. Like I said, when I can get to the eyes better. And we'll work on the face a bit more. Now, I had thought about possibly not doing the red clothing that she has depicted in the artwork. I was thinking about maybe doing purple, but I don't know. The red looks good. We'll probably just keep that. So, the other thing I'm thinking about here is the dangly jewelry bits. Do we want to do those? They're so small. I don't know if we can really pull off a convincing non-metallic metal. We'll probably just do them straight up true metallic. I had thought initially when I saw it that I would do my usual NMM, but they're really fantastically small. And I just don't know if it would come off. Hey, Warlander, what is up? First day back to work today, and they sent me home for the week. Fantastic. You got to like that. Now, did they send you home for the week with pay or without? Because if it was with pay, that's even better. Yeah, everyone's still kind of in vacation mode. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes 100% sense. Always paid. Yeah. Fantastic, dude. uh, Doodles. I grabbed the wrong. There it is. I need my black red here. So this is what we start with for our red. And we may even pull a little bit of that purple shade into it as well, or into the reds as well for shading purposes, you know, because a little too much water there. Catch the edge here. This is very tedious. So, what is everybody up to today? Are you working on any projects? Just hanging out because Jen can't, or extended vacation with college life? Lurking while slicing foam. Fantastic. Hey, we like our lurkers. Never our lurker was ever turned down. Actually painting your own miniatures? Oh my goodness. No. Well, I mean, my queue's open for you. You know, you and Zach are the only two people. Well, Josh occasionally are the only people I do commissions for now, just because I'm tired of commissions. Um, it would definitely be behind Cadmus because that's the one I'm currently working on. But if you're ready to start up again, you're welcome to do that. Doing an expensive vacationing, understandable. Well, I knew you said it might be a bit, so I understood. What have we got left? Shenlong and Yanlo. Isn't that it? And then of course a little some versatiles maybe. Oh, that's right, McCabe. McCabe, man, he just always right up my door. Ah, okay. I'll I can get it open here. There's oh, never mind. That is Parker Burrows. Okay. It says Parker Barrows, not McCabe. Okay. I do have Parker. That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, I think I got this one. I don't know why I was thinking it was McCabe that came in that box. I'm going to be doing the Maxine title here pretty shortly. Myself, which is going to be fun because, you know, tentacles. A little Cthulhuism. It's going to be fun. Okay, I think I'm going to switch to bigger brush. This one's driving me nutters. Which one's that? The title Nelly or title Maxine? And what is it, Captain Zip? I think the pirate captain, Dread Pirate Captain Zip or whatever. Yeah, I actually was working on Zip Crew last night. So the original, um, not title. I think that was probably the notification letting me know that the box is here with that title character in it. Yep, that was it. So I got a title Maxine and Dread Pirate Captain Zip title box, and then I've got the Wong Yoku box out in the mailbox. Or not Wong, Brewmaster 2 and Yuko box in the mailbox. Yay! You have to be a little careful. This paint can get very thick, and I was letting it go on a little thick, so thinning it out a bit before we get any lines in there. Oh, really? I have never played against either. I just know that I will never paint Yuko 1 ever again, or her crew, keyword. 2 times was enough. You're welcome. I was happy with how they turned out. It's just like I never want to do it again. Especially after having to redo Yuko after that primer incident. That was just like heartbreaking. Yeah, I've got about 3 or 4 people that are saying I can't wait to see what you do with Shoju. I can't wait to see what you do with Sochi. Like, yeah, no pressure. It will definitely involve lots of airbrush work. That one, I promise, is going to be lots of airbrush. Blue Velvet Anemone. Yeah, it is a fantastic all. Like caught my eye immediately. Like, yeah, I like the Hoffman, and I like the Damien, but this model. I mean, I actually don't mind the stock one, the Carlos Vasquez model. Very cool model, but I really dug this one. And well, we haven't figured out the details yet. We're probably going to be doing a giveaway for this one, Blue Velvet. So stick around, stay tuned, follow if you haven't already, and all that good stuff. You're going to ask once you got them on the shelves with the other crews. The Yuko crew looks a little darker, dimmer than the others. It's not a problem. They look great. I think I just use a little. I mean, I may not have been as bright with the coloration. Like, didn't bump up the intensity as much, maybe. I don't know. Supposed to go halves with a friend to get my order in, as I'm in the UK, but they pulled out, so I had to film. Oh no! Oof, that shipping. I feel for you because I've paid it myself numerous times going the other way, because there's a lot of stuff I order from the UK and it hurts every single time. Like so many of the other cool games out there. I mean, Weird is first and foremost my favorite, but like I play Infinity too, and most of the terrain companies and token companies for Infinity, and a lot of them for Malifaux as well, are UK based, which means shipping painful. So yeah, I understand. They had some for Guinea Grounds 3 recently posted, and they were really nice looking tokens, but it was UK only shipping. Although they said, if you ask nicely, we'll ship them to the US. And I was like, yeah, but how much is that going to cost? Not looking to mortgage the house here to get a shipment from the UK. Yeah, Art of War Studios, beautiful stuff. Yep, very, very much so. Hey, Stig, how are you doing? Welcome in. You're just talking to Warlander. That's fine. I didn't want to talk to you anyways. Cerisa, isn't that another train company? They do like low fantasy buildings, like a Viking and such like that. Viking Old English train. Glad to hear it, Stig. Yeah, doing good, doing good. Glad to see you. Okay. Getting close to finishing up the base coat here on the red. Like I said, I always go with this black red. I have another color that's called brick red, and I use it occasionally, but most of the time it's black red. And sometimes I even use my black red for brick red because I like to turn things up on the side, up on their head. Yep. I like to do things different. In there, just a wee bit there, right up under the boobage there. Okay. I guess that's a wrinkle there. I'm trying to figure out what the hell that is right there. Okay, trace that outline just a little bit there. And I've got to figure out where on the sculpt the looks like here is where it branches out. Like I said, it's different from the drawing. So we're just kind of winging it here on this design. Let's see here. Yeah, I do like having the all female crew now. Although it's not something I've played yet, but it's on my block as one of those that I really want to paint. But I got to be done with commissions to do it because I really want to put a lot of time into it. I want to make it look maybe not on hill good, but close. Close as we can do. You made it down to Indy. Very cool. Fantastic. How are you doing, Korok? I got a package today. The Maxine and Brewmaster box today. And I apologize up front for any strange, unusual burps or tics, but I have been eating a lot of tomato sandwiches due to the garden. So, oh man, stomach acid bad. Just inbox shook and got him on a temp base for play. Oh, you decided not to use the other base? Oh, that's a fucking shame. Whoops, there's our PG-13 rating. We dropped our one F-bomb. Well, I guess that could be a problem. I'm not sure version 2 would be any better on that, especially since it will be taller. But it might be. Mike could actually put some solid magnets in the bottom, like actual rare earth magnets rather than the sticker sheet. Because that one would not require the battery in the base. Well, that is definitely a shame, though. Okay. Getting a second coat here where it's a little light on these legs. I thought about doing some transparencies here, but these the leggings really are not that close to the skin. So flesh transparency would not be that important. I mean, there's a little bit like on the hip where it would pop through, and a little bit along the front of the leg here, but otherwise, the legs are relatively blousy, so it wouldn't need a whole lot of work. So we're not going to worry with that. Then we're going to work with the fiston next. I'll mix a little bit of it with the black red. Okay. So, ooh, wow. Got to be careful there. Very flimsy there. So this is Mephiston and black red mixed, covering about the 3/4 of the chest area. I want to bring that all on the side because that side is stretched out nice and taut. Really wanted the new Story Master, but didn't want to commit in case I didn't like the other models. May regret it later. Which Story Master? Did I miss something? Oh, right. The other title master. That's right. Sorry. Yeah, that box is a definite purchase, mainly because I'm after uh, Unbound. But I like the look and promise of that new keyword. Again, Ten Thunders is the one I have the fewest models in, which is funny because I love Asian themes. Like my whole house is decorated in Asian decor. Um, but because shortly after I got into Malifaux, I picked up the commission for doing basically in the entire Ten Thunders faction, and it's like, well, I really don't want to paint this twice in a row, so yeah, let's work on other factions. So the 10 Thunders has been kind of left behind. That may get you to play TV. Nice. Nice. You know, there's always a gateway drug. I mean, master. Like mine for Arcanist was Colette, and of course, Neverborns. Everybody knows is Dreamer and Chonky Bits. Always. Trying to think who was my reser. Temptation. It's been so long. I guess Reva was my first reser, the one that drew me in because horse. She had a horse. You're attempting to get the story title box, but not until the rest of the crew is available. That makes sense. Yeah. You had too many crews and tend to get all the female masters. Yeah. So you know if the new iconic Titania is original or queen. I'm not sure. Yeah, Blue Velvet. I've got quite a few boxes myself. I've got I think we're pushing right at 700 models now. So I have gotten a little crazy in my collecting. Ten Thunders is the one I have the least in, which is I still have two full keywords in it. Like Reser's the only one I don't have is Shook. Neverborn, the only one I don't have is Marcus. So those two are almost full. We're covering almost every bit of the red that we did earlier with the brick red or the black red with this mix. But we'll come back in and highlight it up with the Mephiston and stuff as well. I've been debating TT after getting the Mayfang box and reinforced by the Asami Dreamer title box because Oni are cool. Yep. Hoffman's Bay. So that's Arcanist draw. Gotcha. So the card is non-titled. I'm sure folks won't say boo at her being a title proxy. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be a neat sculpt. Is it bad when the neighbor's lawnmower is so stinky it chokes you out in your own house? Oh. Okay, there we go. Got that wrinkle there. Okay, so now we got that bit. Let me go back in and a little bit more here on the top. Because we got a little bit of it painted in, but we didn't finish it out, I don't think. We got distracted by the legs. Okay, getting these wrinkles here one more time just to reinforce them a little bit. All right. Now we're going to go straight to Mephiston. Just plain old Mephiston. Start cutting in some of our actual highlights. Okay, we got a touch up here we need to make. Here we go. Getting some color in here now on these legs. Anywhere there's a too severe a jump, like from the previous mix to the Mephiston, you can always bring a little bit of the previous mixture in thin and glaze over it. 100% A-okay. Makes things look really nice. Helps pull it all together. Same thing here. A little bit of that previous color. Kind of thin, just kind of bringing it in that depression there. And back with that middle color again. Got some wrinkles here that go all the way around. Okay, now we're going to bring those two medium colors back in. Kind of blend this down a little bit because it kind of stands out, right? It's a little bright there on those edges. And then this is the darker of the two. Okay. You can catch these little puffs, I guess. I don't know. What the hell call these? Pants puffs. Like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. You could never hurt anybody. Okay. Pull a little bit of that Mephisto back in. Just right in that area right here. I appreciate that. It's taking some time. We're getting there. But welcome back. Adding that splash of color, the red really does help bring it out a little bit. Before it's just kind of, well, it's just flesh. 'Tis but a flesh wound. I will probably stick with classic fire colors: yellow, orange, red, black, brown, or brown, black, brick red, whatever. The typical fire colors, just because, I think of her as like a performer rather than like something spectral or ghostly or whatever. Now, like Riva, all the flames for Riva are green. So like the flames on her alt horse and stuff are green. When you do is green. The spirits coming out of her corpse candles are purple. I did do that different. But that was because the skin was basically green for them. So yeah. Don't want the guild in the huff. let's get that old brick color back in here for a little bit of work on this area. Okay. We'll probably could stand to get a little bit here on this hip. I mean, it is mostly covered in jewelry, but there's a little bit of the red showing. We can get a little bit of action going there. Okay, get them wrapped around there just a wee little bit there. Okay, now we're going to start pulling in some Evil Suns. So next color. I did not do the top. I'm sorry. We'll work on it in a little bit. I just wanted to go ahead and kind of get the pants knocked in. I do tend to stick to box art most of the time. But I will occasionally break out, if there's a theme that I have in mind. I'll be honest, I came from a 40K background. And while they always say they're your miniatures, paint them however you like them, they do not mean it. So I got very used to doing box art. And it's just it's habit at this point, but I do occasionally break out. Generally has to be a model that speaks to me in a certain way. Like, oh, this model would look so much better if it was, purple versus, red or whatever. Because most of the time the box art is really well done. You have, it's gone through the steps. It's got artists that know the colors, and this goes through, an approval process. This looks good. Let's change this one thing. Okay, now it looks better. Let's change this one thing. So generally box arts were really nice. So why mess with it? But there, like I said, there are occasional times when a model kind of speaks to me and says, I need to be a different color, and I do it. Yeah, I understand. Like I said, nothing wrong with it. The only kind of, like I said, it bothers me is when somebody says, "Oh, your models paint them however you like," but you do that, and then they like, "Well, it's not. I can. It's not chapter approved colors." So yeah, that's when I'm more likely to paint something outside the box because I don't like being told what I can and can't do. Exactly. Do it. Do it. Do it now. Yes, yes, yes. I did some pink and purple towel at one point. I was doing them for a friend, but they're like, "What color scheme should I go for?" And I said, "Let's really tick them off. Let's go pink and purple." So yeah, lots of neck beards were having a froth that day. So just continue to paint that evil suns around, basically like hitting highlights and stuff. A little bit on her bootay here. Kind of have been neglecting these wrinkles in this area, so let's fix these up. The flame was kind of in the way, so I really was not paying a whole lot of attention to them. I'm going to go back a little bit here. Going to go back a couple shades. A little fill in here. Just a little Mephiston down there. Not much, because it's basically in shadow. But I want to give it a little bit. A little bit of pop. Raven, how are you doing? Welcome in. How did your fundraiser, the snack fundraiser, go? I kind of petered out toward the end. I think you were in the I think you're in the 2,000 pound range. but I could be mistaken. How'd y'all end up doing with that? Fundraiser went to 2238. Okay, cool, fantastic. Not quite as good as last year though. Wasn't last year like 4,000 almost? A lot of people are having to tighten their belt this year. I guess that would probably make the most sense. Why it wasn't quite as much as last year. SNAC, Scottish Network for Arthritis in Children. Is that correct, Raven? I think that's the acronym for it. Last year was just over 3,000. Okay. But yeah, cost of living, everything. Yeah, that happens. I mean, everything's gone up, so everybody's a little bit more stretched than usual. So yeah. Well, that's good. Okay, now we're gonna be lightening up a little bit here on these sides because we're a little dark over here. It should be a little bit lighter. Not fantastically lighter, but definitely a little bit lighter, right? Although I need to buy some Malifaux stuff, seeing the Twisted Alternatives. Yeah, you do. You really do. You need to paint some Malifaux stuff. I mean, I've been harping it for how long now? Come on, get with it. I tell you what, Raven, next year, let me know like 3-4 months before your donation or your fundraiser is going, and I will get a model from Malifaux from Weird and paint it, and I'll have it set up you can set it up as a donation goal. Like if you hit 3,000 pounds or whatever, you do a donation for it. I know I didn't do a donation this year or a prize this year, but I've just been kind of covered up. But let me know well in advance next year, and I will paint something up for donation. Maybe that wild ride with Dreamer and Teddy, something like that. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, got to help my buddy Raven out. Last year I did a donation of a 3D printed army for War Master 10mm scale miniatures. It turned into a bit of a snafu because of the shipping to out of country was so ridiculously expensive. And he tried to set it up so it was only U.S. winners, but it didn't quite work. But yeah, we'll do you up something nice next year. Like I said, just let me know ahead of time, a couple months ahead, so I can get working on it, make some time for it. Okay, I'm thinking I'm kind of liking the pants where they are right now, but we're gonna take it. We're gonna take it to 11. We're gonna put a little bit of Wild Rider red in there. Someone in my Discord from Indonesia, they were saying that their shipping from Weird would be over $100. Wow. Now that like 100 USD or like $100 equivalent of their money because of conversion rates. But I mean, I know shipping is kind of ridiculous. It really is. I think shipping for a while makes you want to cry. I imagine so. It's no fun. I mean, I used to do quite a lot of it with commissions and eBay and stuff. So I had software and scale that tied into the computer and stuff. So it made it a little bit easier. But yeah, the cost of shipping is just kind of cray. Although, I mean, I guess you can understand it when gas is, although it has come down a bit, but it was pushing $5 a gallon here in Georgia, which was pretty rough. Especially for those people that commute from here to Atlanta. I felt for them. I mean, granted, they're probably making the big bucks. That's why they can live up here. But still, that is a lot of gas. Say where I'm picking out the little bits of the evil sun or the wild rider. I mean, getting it just a little bit more pop. A little more zing. USD. Ooh, wow, USD. Holy crap. Like I haven't sent anything out of country in a while. Um, the last package I shipped out of country was, well, I shipped out of country quite often, but I shipped to a military person. So it goes through the APO, which means it flies like it's going in the United States. It goes to either Chicago or New York, and it gets loaded on a C-130 or a big, one of those big cargo planes, flies over to England to the airport or to the military base, unloads, and then gets distributed to their PO boxes there. So it's like shipping in the US. It just takes a little longer. So the prices are normal. But The last time I shipped to international without using the military APO system, it was to Canada, and the box was a little large. Okay, it was an oversized box at 14 inches, right? It was 5 pounds, 14 inches. It was $79 to ship it. And this was pre-COVID. Okay, this was pre-COVID, so there was really no excuse for it to be that much. But yeah, it was kind of silly. Needless to say, I was very glad I had in place the client pays for shipping both ways policy. God, I would have made nothing on that commission if I'd had to pay the shipping too. Okay, now probably need to come up and catch that little bit of her waistband showing just above the jewels here. What's that about, Burning Man? Oops, wrong color. Wrong color. Ding dong, wrong color. Although technically that could probably be the belt that the jewels and stuff are hung on, the little metals. But we're going to call that part of the red. Oh, reacting to yeah, it was pretty rough. Like I said, you just don't think of Canada being, you don't think of it being international because it's attached to us, right? You would think it's local, but it's not. Oh God. Yeah, Australia. And not only that, but the prices of stuff there already, things that are imported or whatever. Like I don't want to get into GW prices there, but weird prices there are pretty rough too, I've heard. Hello, Mayor, how you doing? I'm hoping that's how you say it. If not, well, I am the butcher of names, so where it gives you options. That's good. That's good. Always good to have options. Let's see here. I want to go ahead and I want to block in her little slippers real quick. That won't take very long. Let's do that. Cool. I am not the butcher of names today. Fantastic. That's a first. I'm going to say for those that are picking up this or, getting one of these models, one thing you may want to consider doing, I don't know if you noticed, but she is on a double tiptoe pose, right? Which is not the strongest. You may want to consider pinning her. And it's not easy because her feet are very small, but I pinned this foot right here using a drill bit I can no longer find because it's so small, but it's a 0.5 millimeter drill bit and some 0.5 millimeter brass rod. Got that 1 foot pinned, and so she's a lot more stable, but I would definitely consider pinning her if you plan on playing her. Need to figure out what we're going to do base wise for her too. So if anybody has any suggestions, please let me know. We could always go with the old, wooden floor routine of the Star Theater or whatever. We could do that. But if anybody has any other brilliant ideas, let me know, because we are going to be doing a giveaway for this miniature at some point. Hot calls as a firewalker, don't know. Ooh, wow. Firewalker. The words Firewalker, Coal Walker, or Fire Eater, Coal Walker. God almighty. Fire Eater, Coal Walker. There we go. How many times can somebody screw up one phrase? That was pretty horrible. I thought I was having a stroke there for a second. Words are hard. They really are sometimes. Fire Eater, Coal Walker. We gotta correct that just a wee little bit. We got too high up. You know, one of these days I'm gonna need to try that Wordle game that you post all the time. I don't know what it is. It seems like it's based on number of letters, and you guess the letters that go in each square, and then how close you are gives you the determination of the color that the square fills in. And if you get green, you're on track. Is that what it is? You're a word nerd. Well, I'm obviously not a word nerd because I can't talk. So my grandmother would have probably really done well at it. She was always doing the crossword puzzles, like all the time. Every day she'd do that crossword puzzle from New York Times. My aunt too, because she was a poet. So of course, vocabulary there. Let's see here. It's mastermind for words. Guess 5-letter word, and it shows you green if it's the right letter in the right place. Yellow if the letter is in the word in another position. Okay. All right. Makes sense. Is it always 5-letter words? And do they give you like any sort of context? Like, is it just you randomly guess 5-letter words and hope you get something kind of right? It's a nice little distraction to find Said Cordell, 16 verse 21 cumulative guesses to be fine. Okay. All right, so we got those painted in there. Let's go ahead, while we got some black on the brush, or on the palette, let's go ahead and get our hair blocked in too. A little too watery. A lot of different strategies for starting words to try and nail down the most common letters. Gotcha. Now, we were talking about box art a little bit ago. I'm trying to decide if I want to attempt to do the patterning on the outfit, the gold embroidery or whatever it is. I don't know if that's going to happen. Definitely not in 2 streams, probably. So you may not be doing that portion of the box art. Just a heads up. I believe I was off screen. Sorry about that, folks. Let's see here. This way. There we go. Yeah, sorry, I've been pulling it closer and closer to me to see it and pulling it out of camera view. I really need some new glasses. Okay. All right. So are we good? Wow, I want you to look at just how much that flexes. Just the brush is causing it to flex. Definitely want to make sure you use some model cement on this, so it bonds permanently, and probably have some method of picking her up besides picking her up by the feet or arms. So we got the mustard ketchup going on right now. Just want to go ahead and get that yellow blocked in. And we start working on the other colors later. One thing you can do sometimes when you have a fiddly part, especially one that's so flexy like this, is a drop of super glue kind of to get it started, and then some model cement around the joint to do some fusing of it. And that sometimes helps you out. Super glue, bonds closer to instant, and then holds it in place while the other welds it. So yeah, it is. It's very, very fragile. I mean, that's typical of a lot of Malifaux miniatures. So you kind of get used to it. I mean, like a Dreamer, I had the original Dreamer, the Child Dreamer, and he's got these really, really tiny feet. Like his feet are about the size of her toes, right? Um, and spindly little ankles and stuff. And he's got that tiny little teddy bear or monster doll hanging from his hand. Real fragile model. So what I did is I built a nightstand um, out of some styrene card and milliput and some earring findings and beads. And so when I pick up the model, I'm picking it up by the nightstand, and he's never touched. And it goes with kind of the bedroom look of Dreamers sleep in his bedroom kind of thing. So yeah, always try and put some sort of thematic handle on fragile miniatures if you can. You'll thank yourself later. Yeah. I don't know if he's handy. Um, I think he's in my storage box over there. But if we take a break or something like that later on, um, I'll bring him back so that you can see what I'm talking about. Candy, she's very much the same way. Very, very small feet, actually smaller than Dreamers, I think, and tiny little ankles. So what I did with her is I put her on a little like a tombstone, like a graveyard. The concrete slab on top of a tombstone, and then there's a vertical tombstone to grab and lift her up by it. Um, so yeah, scenery isn't just scenery. Sometimes scenery is also handles. A little too much water there. Trying to get it thin because it was starting to get kind of chalky. You got a lot of fans going. It dries things out fast. Get that one as dry. So we're just continuing to work this thin yellow around. We'll have to make a couple more passes on it. Now, something you got to be careful with on fire too. A lot of people will paint fire backwards or inside out, however you want to call it. They'll paint it red or orange in the center, and then they'll dry brush yellow, white, whatever on the dry brush to pick up the detail or whatever. And flame doesn't work like that. Flame is lighter at the core, at the center, and darker on the outside. So because it's cooling off, the further it is away from the core. So you always start with yellow or sometimes white blue, depending on the heat. If you're talking about something like a welding torch or whatever, then it's going to be white blue at the core. And then work its way to yellow, and then to orange, and then to red, and then to your sooty colors. So always keep that in mind with flames too, is that your core is going to be your brightest color, typically in that yellow range. Now, I would probably go with Uriel normally, or possibly Vasquez. But they do not have the coverage that Everlyn does. So I will probably come in with, or I'll do the Everlyn Sunset that I'm doing now. Once it's covered, then we may come back in and actually recover it with Uriel or Vasquez. But I never forget the first time I did flames, and I did it the backwards way, and I was like, my brain was looking at it and says, like, something is wrong with this flame. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. And then I was like, oh yeah, the inside needs to be yellow. Whoops. Got a little piece of dirt there. It looks like the primer. That's a bummer. Luckily, it's on the underside, so not a big deal. Okay. We're going to switch over to our smaller brush here, because we're getting close to the face and hands. Let's not use that big old brush there. I really love the way the fire is sculpted on this. Like I said, it was a little bit of a challenge to assemble, figuring it out. But once I saw how it went, I was like, oh, yeah, this is nice. Good movement in it. right? Really looks like that fire kind of licking around and charging upwards. Not that I'm a pyro or anything, but I could definitely watch flames and fire for hours and hours and hours and hours. It's just something kind of magical about the way it moves. I guess alive, you know? Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's show you. See right down in there, that crack. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a crack and the spring's kind of halfway through that crack. It was shipped this way. This is the way I got it. And because of that, it never really grips tight unless you're doing a 32, which this is a 30, is pretty close, but I figure make sure it won't fall off. And it also, believe it or not, it helps grip. You know, you don't have to hold as tight because you got that nice tackiness of the rubber band, especially since it's had a million coats of gloss varnish and matte varnish on it. It's got a nice little bit of tack to it. Oh no! This is a 30 that she's on. Her 40 is right here. she has the right size base. Nope, you did good. No complaints there. Oh my goodness, no heart attacks. No heart attacks, Kim. Not even small minor ones. All right, Raven. Have a great night. Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, glad you get to come and see me live occasionally. This time slot works for you. You future dwellers, you. Is it a 30 or 40? Let's say 40, but yeah, the grip. Yeah, it is. This is a 30 millimeter base. These are some little 30 millimeter blanks that I designed and printed out for models that I want to paint and use and transport, but don't want to have a hard time getting them off the base. So they have a magnet slot right there for a 5x1 magnet or 5x2. And they're 100% flat on the surface rather than having that recess like these do. Okay, stock bases have this little lip, right? And if you mount a miniature here, and you want to try and cut it off later with your razor blade, what's going to happen is either you're going to cut a bit of this rim off, or you're really going to have a hard time and kind of like dig in trying to get up underneath the foot to break it loose. So I just designed flat top rims for temporary purposes. So I can paint a miniature, stick a magnet in it, put it in my storage spot, play with it for a bit until I decide on a theme for my bases. And then once I decide on my theme, then I break these bases out and use them. I've gotten very heavily reliant on my 3D printer doing things for Malifaux. What color are her armbands? Oops, I got on the flash a bit. Whoopsie. See if I can correct it before it dries. Nope. That's okay. We can fix that a little bit. Oh, the kitty cat emerges, guys. Meow. Meow. I'm streaming, sir. He's like, I don't care. I want attention. Yeah. All about the cat. It's all about what he wants and needs. Right? Little jerk face. He's a little jerk face. I would probably pull him up and show him off to the camera, but I really do not feel like wearing half a cat for the rest of the stream, so we're not going to do that today. Because he sheds so bad when he doesn't want to be picked up. Like a porcupine with the quills, they just flings off his entire coat of fur. Yeah, we hear you, cat. He's He's like, why no pay attention? Love me. Your cat fear sheds, usually a defense measure to become hard to hold on to. Yep. Sounds about right. Cats are very strange animals. Even the regular ones. And if you get a strange cat, they're really, really nutty. Like my Siamese, he basically was autistic. He change tore him apart. He did not like to be touched. He wanted to be touched. He wanted to be petted. He wanted to be loved. But when you touched him, his skin would just ripple, like up and down his spine. His skin would ripple. So you could tell he couldn't stand it, but at the same time, he wanted it. It was very, very painful to watch sometimes. Ugh. Boy, I can't get in there to get that, can I? Maybe if I come in it this way. There we go. Whew. Never met a normal orange cat, really. Well, I've never had. Well, Imp was kind of orange, but she was more like a blonde than an orange. Um, she was a crazy cat. And I mean, she wasn't like crazy off kilter. She was crazy like a hunter. She'd killed rattlesnakes. She'd bring rattlesnakes up to our doorstep. Um, all sorts of snakes. And if she caught rabbits, she'd bring us the little cotton ball tail and maybe a foot. But she was a hell of a hunter. But she got lost. She got strychnine poisoned. She was shot in the head with a 22. She was temporarily paralyzed when the garage door was slammed on her back. The cat just kept ticking. She was like the Terminator. She lived to 22 years old, despite all of that. Yeah, they really are little murder machines. That's right. That's what they were created for. Tiny little murder machines. Okay, so got our flame blocked in. I'm going to probably put another coat on here before we go too much further. Got the batons blocked in. Got the pants really well done. We're going to work on the top next. But let me get another coat of this yellow before we lose it. Because I have a feeling we're not going to get to the flames today. This will probably be a week after thing. That is an Energizer cat, all right. Yeah. Energizer, Terminator, whatever you want to call it. Yep. Found my cat in an idiot loop with a wolf spider. Both were equally inept and stern. Yeah, that's funny. That's hilarious. Yes, the sneezing is Captain Sneezy Pants. That's his thing. El Snotto. Yes, they hear you. They hear you. Doesn't mean I'm petting you, though. Um, Dragon Force is now disappointed. I have no idea why. What is Dragon Force going on? What is that? Chartwell House, Churchill's old home, now held by the National Trust, has always. Yeah, I remember reading something about that. Always have a jock cat. That's nice. Your primary goal was to find the cat. Right on. Right on. Yep. If I were to visit, I'd probably be looking for the cat too. Screw the tour. I want to see the cat. I think, I was talking about how the paper has held up really well, but I think we're getting to the point where it's become contaminated with all of the little flecks of colors that have been washed off, and they're starting to infect the other colors. So I think we're going to actually change the paper before next stream. Well, before my next painting session. I do see a few more little flecks in here that were not there before. So I think this is contaminants on my parchment paper, or the everlasting wet palette paper. Also said, because you won't get through the fire and the flames, one of their most famous songs. Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. I've apparently seen your stream enough times. My dogs didn't so much as perk up at Sneezy Pants mewing. Wow. Meow. Cat. Check something real quick here. I want to see what color. Oh. Okay. Guys, I fooked up. This is glove material. This is not skin. So we got a black band here, which you can see that one pretty easy, and a black band here. But this is the edge of a glove, and it looks like it comes down like to one of those finger rings. So a little triangle shape here. Okay. I was wondering why we had all these weird wrinkles. I thought it looked kind of strange. So this is not, the skin shouldn't look like that. And then the reason why is because it's actually cloth. There's wrinkles here. Okay. So we got to redo that. Cat. Shh. Please be quiet. God. Nope. I refuse to be quiet. I must be heard. Hear the song of my people. Danger. Danger, Will Robinson. It's scooped up Spider Idiot with a solo cup, lit him outside, and then after that, it was Stop Playing Dead, bumped into Cat Idiot, Cat Idiot who starts. Oh my goodness. Wow. Trying to get some more colors mixed up because most of these have dried out. Reason behind that is my palette had been unused for a while, and I wet it, but I didn't like soak it. And then, like I said, with all the fans going, it just like sucked it all up, all gone, dry as a bone. Okay, we'll be right back on this in a second here. Okay. So let's get to working on that top a little bit, huh? Okay. Reestablishing where I was on it. I think we're at the Mephiston stage. Right there on the black. Fantastic. That's okay. We hadn't worked on the black yet. And now you know why. Okay. Now we want to come up over the shoulder a little bit here with that Mephiston. Get a little bit of that raised shoulder blade there. Catch a little bit of that wrinkle there. There's a little bit right there, kind of, I guess, the bottom of her rib cage. Catching these wrinkles. Gonna hold my fist on there. Okay, now we'll go to our evil sons. It's our next red. Really? What do you want? Cat. Cat. So we're just going to focus on the top 2/3 of the chest area here. You guys feel for me, right? The cat yelling in my ear when I'm trying to concentrate on painting. F's in the chat for my nerves. I mean, I know how to make it go away. All I have to do is pick him up and put him in front of the camera, and he will bolt. And we won't see or hear from him again. But like I said, I don't want to be covered in a ball full of hair right now. So, yeah, we're just going to have to put up with him, unfortunately. I will try to remember to put him on the other room before next stream. Okay. Catching these wrinkles again. And down here as well. These in particular, we're going to pop up a little bit with some Wild Rider as well. feel like we've got a little bit of work done today on this. So far, 2.5 hours. Okay, now I'm going to mix just a little bit of that Wild Rider with some of the Evil Sons, and get a little bit on the tops of the breast. Just give them kind of a final little lightening up, because they are definitely, thrust up there at the sun. So now we're just coming in with a plain Wild Rider, hitting some of them wrinkles, folds in the cloth. Okay, so we got that portion done. We do need to come back in and do these armbands and block the gloves in, because apparently she has gloves now. We didn't see that to start with. Just looked at been looking at the artwork a little bit more. Okay. The nice thing is about this model how simple the paint scheme is. I mean, you're basically using 4 colors, essentially: your flesh color, your yellow or your flyer color, and red and black. I mean, it's very simple, which is good, because I had all my paints kind of off to the side where I was cleaning off desk. So when I got started, I had to grab a handful of paints, and didn't take long to grab what I needed. Relatively simple paint scheme. Just block this in here. Once we get done with these, we'll block the gloves in and start working on them, since we just got our reds remixed. Try and get those finished. I'll be honest, I don't know if we got enough for a 3-hour stream week after next for this model, so we may go back to terrain, and I'll show the finished model off, because I don't, like I said, I don't know that we got 3 hours worth of work left on her for oops. Well, if I keep making mistakes like that, there will be. But otherwise, I don't know that we'll have enough material. So we may be back on terrain, or we could potentially be working on we could work on our and then jump to another crew that's in the queue if we finish her up early. That's always an option too. But just giving you a heads up of where we may be headed week after next. For paint wise. Okay, sorry, I had to pull that purple back in there. Looked a little weird without it. Okay, now we'll go back to basting these gloves. These gloves that I thought were weird baggy flesh. Okay. See if we can get get the cloth brought up to the hand to a point here. How close we're going to get there. Okay, got a good transition there. Or not a good transition, but a good line drawn. That'll work. I still can't believe I thought that was skin. Like, well, artist prerogative. She's got baggy skin. No, silly, it was gloves. Whoops. My bad. Oh, we're getting close, aren't we? So no, it's getting a little quiet. It always gets quiet toward the end for some reason. I think everybody starts running off to dinner. That is my haunted willow link. Handy willow link. It's a non-witch link. I've been watching Buffy. Sorry, guys. So that non-witch thing. Okay. So yeah. We might finish the gloves up, but I think that's going to be about where we stop. So really, at that point, all that's going to be left is her face, hair, and the flames. And the face is something I got to do like close up, and the coins. So I mean, we're kind of at a point where I don't know if we just got another 3 hours. So like I said, we may be doing a different model next week after next. Or we may work on this one until we're done and then start something else. I'm not sure which is better. Do you think? Weird hobbies. You sir. Oh, well, I appreciate that. All right. Okay. Let's get some of this brick red and the fist on down on here. Camera there. All right, I appreciate that. I do. I'll let you know what I end up doing. I have a feeling people would like to see the flame work up. So I may bring her back just for that portion, and then we'll work on something else afterwards, either the terrain or like Captain Zip or something like that. Because like I said, the flames is something a lot of people still struggle with. Okay. Now we're going to go to Mephiston. And we'll work on some of them prominent wrinkles here in the claw. Okay. And we'll do the same thing over here in this arm. It's a good thing I like painting red. There's a lot of red on this model. Red is one of my favorites. Blue is my second favorite, I think. It's funny. Red used to be one that bothered me. And I just kind of put my mind to kind of breaking through that little mental block, and suddenly it was fine. Probably helped painting a lot of blood angels. That helped. Same with the blue. I did like 400 and something rubric marines for 1,000 suns. So a lot of blue work. And, you know, once you've done it so many times, it starts to become kind of second nature. And I don't imagine I would have much of a problem painting yellow, even though most people complain about that one. Key with yellow is oranges and browns and or violets are your friend with it. I'll use this wash here, Cassandora yellow, or I'll use this wash, purple tone, with yellows, and it does some really interesting effects. The other thing you can do is base it with fuchsia, like a hot pink, like a, do I have it handy? Yeah. Like a Warlord purple. Base your model with that, but zenithal up to white, and then spray a light coat of yellow, either glaze or very thin pigment down over it. And this will give you a very, very bright yellow with nice contrast. So there's some tricks to it. But anyways, I do believe that is about it for me time-wise. We did a pretty good amount today. We got her flesh broken in. We got the reds knocked in, except for her gloves. We got the flames blocked in, or at least the base coat. So yeah, I think we'll come back week after next, and we'll work on the flame work, and then I'll have everything else done but the flames. We'll do the flames, and then we'll work on some other project after that. But anyways, thank you all for coming out on our GenCon 2022 stream. I appreciate it. Like I said, my Willow link is there in the chat there. That goes to all my socials, my Twitter, I don't really do Twitter, my Twitch, my Facebook, my Instagrams, all that good stuff. And if you aren't already following Play Weird, please do so. Follows are free. Tiger, you have a great day. Yeah, it was good to catch up. It's been a while, very while. Anyways, everybody have a great day. Until next stream, stay safe, hobby on, stay weird, all that good stuff, and have a great day.